the sun is just starting to climb up over the treetops. And it's gonna be a beautiful day, that's plain to see.
Welcome to Bill Dance Outdoors, America's most popular and longest running TV fishing show.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
Hello everybody. Today we're going to have some fun, catch a few bass, I hope, and cast out some very interesting and helpful things that you might not be aware of, and also answer some of your email questions we've received, like this one right here. I've often heard people say that water temperature is often the most important factor in determining where bass will be, especially in the spring. Now, are they referring to surface temperature? Well, checking the surface temperature gauge on their boat or graph, because they can easily keep an eye on it for abrupt changes and noticeable changes. When they're seen, it's best to use one of the many available electronic hand units that work by lowering a probe into the water to quickly check the temperature at various depths. Very important, it's bottom and mid-range temperatures. They are much more important than the surface temperature. Now, a few degrees can make a world of difference. Ooh-wee! I got a meal now. Don't you dare get in that trolling motor. Ooh. Look, that swallowed it. He wants to go for the trolling motor. He got that bait way down in his mouth. Look at that big old fish. Gotta come back here and get you. Digging. That front hook, if that came out then. He had it way back in his mouth. There's one of the hooks out. There's the other hook out. Woo! There's a big one. Man. Bye-bye. People that don't bass fish ask me quite often, what makes this fish so special? Well, the bass is probably one of the most glamorous species in the fresh waters of the world today. They have a high intellect and a strong instinct for survival. They also approach the physical configuration of the perfect predator, with broad, powerful tails, excellent vision, superb hearing, and the ability to maneuver underwater quickly and effectively. Researchers have concluded that bass see better than most other fish and can even distinguish between various shades of color. Yep, I'd say they can see better than most other fish.
Bill Dance Outdoors is sponsored in part by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Rebel, catch fish anywhere. And by Mercury Marine, go boldly.
Today's Conditions Log is brought to you by the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development. Come experience the kind of beauty that can only be made in Tennessee. Go online today for your free Tennessee vacation guide.
There he is. Yee. And I got that hook out. All these fish are healthy. Now here's another really good question about big bass. Why are so many big bass caught on slow-moving lures, like plastic worms, jig and plastic combinations, tubes, creature baits, and so forth? You know, there are two key reasons, and this is something we've talked about many times. Big bass are just not tailored to long pursuit. Meaning they're not just going to get out there and put on a pair of track shoes and do the 100-yard dash to catch something, to catch their prey. Secondly, and perhaps most important, is limited strike speed. Now, researchers at Florida State University studied largemouth bass to determine how increasing body size affected jaw size, the jaw, physiology, and feeding behavior. Although jaw structure increases proportionately as size increases, larger bass open and close their mouth slower than overall strike speed and smaller fish. According to research, the strike of a 5-pound bass takes 50% longer than that of a 1-pound bass. Strike speed continues to decrease as bass size increases. Now, based on this study, when fishing for large bass, it might be smart to wait a second or two before setting the hook. Look at y'all. I got a good one here. Oh boy, look at that. Got in that grass. That's a better one right there, boy. Boy, that's a good one. You had 2 hooks. No, you got 1. You like that, didn't you? Look at it. Look at that big fatted baby. Big thick back. Whoo! Boy, he pulled. Did a lot of fighting down deep. Gave me a good fight. Okay. Miss baby, we're going home. Say bye. Whew. What we're using a medium heavy quantum Acris 7-foot with a little Acris S3 reel, and the line we're using Trilane Big Game 15-pound test. This rod's a fast action rod also. You see that? About 20% tip, a lot of backbone. The last 3 reels are got a good smooth drag system. They're lightweight.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Quantum Rods and Reels. Quantum, performance tune. Mystic Lubricants, lubrication domination. And Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Today's show is sponsored in part by Berkeley, catch more fish. Bill Dance exclusive rods by Quantum. And by Garmin. Bite your fish, not your fish finder.
Today's equipment log is brought to you in part by Gamakatsu, because the fish of a lifetime only comes once in a lifetime.
Okay, here's a question. Bill, I'm missing quite a few. No, actually, I'm missing a lot of fish when they hit my lure. And they're swimming directly at me. What in the heck am I doing wrong? Hey, don't blame yourself. It happens to everyone. Now, the most difficult angle to handle is a head-on take, when the fish is coming directly at you. The tendency is to pull the lure or the bait out of its mouth. If you can, and I'll say that again, if you can, let the fish grab your offering and then wait a few seconds to see if he can turn before you strike. That's kind of hard to do, but if you wait just a second and see if he turns before you strike. Now, if you just can't wait, try sweeping the rod sideways instead of straight up and try to drive the hook into the corner of its mouth. I got one. And one of them wants to go right toward the trolling mower. Look at that pole, he's got it. I gotta get me up. We'll get all up under the boat. A strong fish, boy. I don't know what do you think you're doing? All he wants to do is just dive. A strong little old fish, I know that. You like that? All right, now look. Let's calm down. You hear me? I got you. Whew. Let me tell you what, those two shots on there are making a difference. My glasses on where I can see you. That's a fat, chunky little old bass, isn't it? Okay. Toodaloo. Anytime you put a weight above a bait like this, what you want to do when you cast it, if you throw it and you just let it hit the water, what happens, these weights many times will get ahead of the bait. And when that happens, if it gets ahead of the bait, the sinkers will fall in front of the hooks. And you don't want that to happen, because what's going to happen? The line will get in the hooks. So when you make the cast, what you want to do, just about the time it hits the water, bring your rod tip back. And what that does, it throws the bait forward ahead of the hook, ahead of the weight. So watch. When it hits, I pull back on it just like that, and the bait goes out past the sinkers or the split shots. Not gonna do it every time, but most times it will. Here's one about monofilament. I've heard you say that knot failure is responsible for line problems 75% of the time. What tips can you offer to combat knot failure? Always take the time to tie the knot correctly. This could prevent losing the biggest fish of your life. Always wet the knot before cinching it down. This will keep the line from heating and weakening the mono. Always choose a knot that's easy for you to tie. What this does, it gives you the confidence to do it right every time. Always be sure to check your knot periodically, especially when fishing around and in cover, and after you've caught a few fish. If you can't tie a knot, tie a lot.
The Bill Dance Question and Answer of the Week is brought to you by Bill Dance Exclusive Rods by Quantum. Whether you're fishing for panfish, bass, catfish, or light saltwater, we have an action for you. Available at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
It's a new conventional braid using 9 100% polyethylene fibers. It's built to be smooth, quiet, and cast so easily. The 9 strands are woven together for strength, and this product is ideal for pitching, flipping, or casting, and available from 8 to 100 pound test. And it's a small diameter braid. Hey, an impressive line you're really gonna like.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Millennium Marine, a new class of comfort. And by Garmin Force Trolling Motors, fish with force. Closed captioning provided by PowerPole, the original shallow water anchor.
Today's product tip is brought to you by Garmin and their GPS Map Series sonar combos. With advanced sonar technology like Chirp and exclusive Panoptix all-seeing sonar, you'll spend less time finding your fish.
Anglers looking for a way to make their smaller boats stay put in shallow water? Check out the PowerPole Heavy Duty Spike. The spike helps hold small boats exactly where you want to keep them. It also secures the bow of a bass boat that has power poles. Each spike comes with a nylon dock line and push grips to help you easily sink it into sand or mud. Need to stay steady in one spot? Spike that spot. You can fish there as long as you wish.
Come be a part of Bill Dance Digital. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us.
There's a misconception about lures of this type. Many anglers actually believe that jerk baits perform best in cool to cold water temperatures ranging from 40 to 45 degrees. Well, they do, but they also work extremely well in water temps ranging from 70 to 85 degrees also. In working these lures, it's important to remember that it's you, the angler, who brings the lure to life as it's fished with a bow in your line. The rod tip should give as you begin each jerk, so it slowly accelerates into forward motion. Slack line allows the rod to get to full speed before it starts to move the bait. This adds to the erratic action. Usually the rod tip should move 6 to 12 inches or so. Then, at the end of each jerk, abruptly stop the rod and push the tip back toward the lure. Now, before the next jerk, reel up the slack, but leave a bow in the line and jerk the rod again. If you repeat this cadence steadily, the jerk bait will sit, swim, and dart back and forth on and just below the surface. Usually a 6.5 to 7 foot soft tip rod helps create slack. Plus, it makes casting lighter baits easy. Because the length helps give slack, the shock-absorbing midsection keeps pressure on the fish while not allowing the hook to tear out when the bass makes a strong, fast run. Oh, I got another one of these tuggers. Oh, go around the trolling motor, please. He just did perfect. Look at him gut around. That's the toughest doggone fish. There he goes back. He's a horse, all right. Oh yeah, he's a big fish. Now he's getting his wind again. There's a big old fish. So big he can't even jump. Easy, Bill, that's a big fish. Ooh, that fish has fought hard. Ooh, hey. Oh, just get my hands in your mouth, you big hole. Ooh. Phew, what a fish. I've caught a couple like that. Oh. Let me just, I know I'm not gonna hurt you. Oh, that bait right there. Woo. Your prize. All right, I'm gonna turn you loose. Boy, boy, boy. We're going back, baby. Go home. I guarantee that fish is 10 plus. Woo! Cotton. Cotton. If you're looking down, look what your bait did. Look what your bait did, old boy. Woo! What a good one. Ooh-wee! Have we had a good time today. Like I said in the beginning of the show, we were gonna have some fun today. And we did manage to catch a few and cast out some interesting stuff. And we hope some of it was useful and some of it will help you catch some big old bass. Let's hope so anyway. Until next time, you catch one for me, okay?
Thanks for watching Bill Dance Outdoors. Join us here again next week.
Now I've gone fishing with